Many years ago, I found myself standing alone at the edge of a rugged cliff. No path, no signs, just short grass, the sound of wind, and an unending landscape. I had come to escape the noise of the world. I sat beneath a tree, thinking I had left the chaos behind. But my thoughts, they raced. They wandered, they argued, imagined, regretted, dreamed. It made me ask the question we all must face, sooner or later. What is the mind? And why does it lead us so far? Because the mind is both our guide and our deceiver. If we do not understand it, we become its servant, led by thoughts like dry leaves in the wind. Unaware, we've already been carried away. The mind scatters like dust in a storm, but it can also gather itself, like a river returning to the sea. It is capable of creating an illusion, yet within it lies the gate to awakening. The great yogi Milarepa once sang, "All worldly pursuits have but one inevitable end, which is sorrow. Acquisitions end in dispersion, buildings in destruction, meetings in separation, birth in death." And yet we chase. We gather, we build, we grasp. But what happens when the mind stops chasing shadows? Something unexpected. I began to see that I was not a separate self, not an isolated spark of life. I was a breath in the vast body of the universe. In the leaves above me, in the clouds drifting by, even in the quiet gaze of a stranger passing in silence. It wasn't that I had vanished, but that I was no longer clinging to the idea of me. The universe came closer, not because I reached for it, but because I stopped trying. In that surrender, a quiet trust emerged. Not faith in something fixed or named, but in the rhythm behind all things, even the chaos I once feared. Where is the line between ego and true nature? I used to think it was clear, one side dark, the other light, but now I see the boundary is like mist on a mountain lake. Milarepa described it beautifully. In the vast expanse of the unborn mind, thoughts arise and dissolve like waves on the sea. The ego is clever. It can wear robes of truth, quote scripture, recite wisdom, meditate with perfect posture. But true nature passes quietly, unnoticed, because it makes no noise. To see clearly, I learned, is not to stare harder, but to soften the gaze. To live as though each moment is a doorway home. I let go of certainty, of endlessly gathering knowledge. I stood, bare, without a name, without definition. Not in pain, but in unfamiliar stillness, like a breeze through a long closed room. And in that stillness, I tasted what Milarepa called the natural state. It wasn't analysis, it wasn't a theory. It was effortless knowing, like a calm lake reflecting the whole sky. And I saw what disturbed that surface was not the world, but the stirring of my own heart. So again, I ask, what is the mind? It is the dust in the wind, the mirror and the fog, the illusion and the awakening. Our task is not to conquer it, but to recognize it, to stop chasing its flickering shadows, and instead to stand still until the light comes in. So perhaps awakening is not a mountaintop moment, but 1,000 small surrenders, a quiet remembering, again and again, until life itself becomes the teacher and the heart becomes the path. I end my journey like ending a dream, not because it is not real, but because it opens up a deeper dream, not to gain anything, but to lose enough to see yourself. Life is a school where people come to learn how to return, to understand themselves. Life is like a poem rewritten every day, and we ourselves are the words, the rhythm, the blank spaces. Thank you for listening to today's reflection, the mind, our guide and our deceiver. If this offered you even a moment of clarity, consider sharing it and take that moment of stillness with you into the world.